So you join me driving the S500. This is a car that I've just purchased and potentially one of the cheapest currently in the UK. Now it does come with its fair share of problems, as I'm sure you can imagine, this being a flagship Mercedes. So I'm not going to tell you the price I paid for the car, but put it this way, it's a runner and it cost me less than £5,000. Now for a car that originally cost just over 100,000 for a 1999 W220 S500, that is quite reasonable, I think. So being the cheapest, it obviously has its fair share of problems, one of which is the central locking doesn't work, which I'm hoping is quite an easy fix. However, again, with this system being quite complex, it might not be so easy. That's the first thing that I need to sort out, because it's quite possibly one of the most annoying things on the car so far is the central locking, which I think for week one is quite reasonable. The other really annoying thing that I found with this car is the auto dimming is always dimmed. Now that does pose some issues driving at night, because obviously I can't see out the rear view mirror or the driver's side mirror, which is very annoying, especially driving on the motorway. I can't see what's in the other lane. Now you're probably going to say, well, you've got an S500, you should be in the outside lane. Yeah, but still annoying. Those are the two issues that I have with this car. I bought it with under 100,000 miles on the clock, which for the age of the car and the price I paid is quite good. A little bit of rust on the outside, but nothing too major that I couldn't do myself. Which leads me to believe that potentially there's some water ingress at some point has got into the car, which is an issue with the S500 and every W220 you find, especially in places that are wet, such as the UK. So I need to bottom that out and see what's really going on there. So that's the main issue, is the water. Everything else on the car seems to work okay. There's an issue with the seats. I've got the lumbar support. That at the moment is not working. Now I think that might be related to the PSE pump in the rear, which is in the trunk or boot, wherever you come from. I think those issues are related, but can't be too sure at this point without having a proper look. So you can see I'm currently working day shifts, so working on my car becomes second priority, mainly because of the light. There's no light. So that's currently where I am with the S500, the cheapest in the UK that's actually running, and it ain't that bad. There's no issues so far that I've really found, other than the central locking, soft closed doors, lumbar support doesn't work anymore, and the rust issue. And still got quite a bit of power. It's obviously a 20-year-old car, and hey, when required you can still put your foot down and it gets moving, and what a glorious sound that makes. I don't need to have the radio on anymore because I can hear that glorious sound. Realised I've just gone the wrong way entirely, which is always great. Should have gone that way. Anywho, so those are all the issues with the S500. Now what I want to do with this car, well, I want to make it more powerful, which I understand is quite difficult in these cars. There's not really much you can do to them to make them faster, more responsive. A remap might give you 10 horsepower at best, but yeah, these are issues that I will come to at a later date. The main issues being the water and the PSE pump not working. The other issue for me is this car was stored in a garage for 8 months. So for 8 months it wasn't driven, nothing was done on the car. I've got a full Mercedes-Benz history, however, which for me at the time of purchasing was a safe bet. I tried out the car and the central locking worked. Everything worked at the time of purchasing. A day later, it all stopped working. Now, there was a heavy downpour that night I bought the car. Is that related? Potentially. So I think over the next few days, I'll be opening up the fuse box in the back and trying to find, I believe it's F62 for the PSE pump, and see what we have. Potentially the previous owner might have put the wrong fuse in, or anything could have happened. It might even just need a reset. So those are the things over the next few days that I'll be trying to sort out. Maybe drop the channel a subscription if you would like to stay up to date. Why are we not going? Let's go. If you'd like to stay up with what's going on with my S500, I'm sure it will be comical at best, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, wherever they might be. Anyway, until the next video, where we're working on the S500, I thought I would just introduce the car. So until that time, take care.